Hello, I'm David Bosek, and this is part 3, the Van Allen radiation belts, section B of my continuing series on the moon hoax on my political news magazine channels, on YouTube and Rumble. Please make a note that I am David T. Bosek, and I do not use AI in the creation of any of my videos whatsoever. Please also note that most of the information in this video comes from the Weaver book. There's some information in the last roughly third of the video that does come out of the V.A.R.B book. I do debate with some of these factoids, I cite from these books, and I also have some of my own personal opinions that are in every video about the moon hoax. I have some of my own theories that do diverge from some of the independent research on this matter. It's usually in every video. So here we go with today's video. Who was Mary Bennett? Well, in my opinion, she's one of the biggest issues as a person within the moon hoax theories. She was a scientific researcher that basically looked at the radiation numbers from NASA, from Apollo, and proved or believes and proves that the entire Apollo program was faked. And I'm going to tell you why right now. She confirms that the bird radar detector proves that the radiation levels were in low Earth orbit, which is on page 108 and 9 of Weaver's book for Apollo. She therefore concludes that we never went to the moon because the radiation numbers were all cooked by NASA. NASA never went beyond low Earth orbit with people up until supposedly Artemis 2, which is a fairly recent program within NASA. She compared Orion radiation data with Apollo's radiation numbers and concluded Apollo was a hoax, because the numbers are simply too low and do not add up. Remember, Orion is also a very recent program within NASA. She looked at all this data and concluded the entire Apollo project was faked. Weaver thinks present technology can't go very far into space, only low Earth orbit. I would probably even go farther than him in my opinion. I think at Maximus, we probably have only gone maybe 800 miles in space in history, or possibly less. That's my own personal opinion based on research. People need to wake up. No human at that time could go through V.A.R.B. They took the equator route according to NASA, which is the worst. It blows my mind how people continue to believe this. In Apollo 8, there's no mention of them in the audio recordings. That's on page 287 of Weaver's book. Once again, makes no sense. In 2014, NASA was concerned with radiation and cosmic radiation around Mars. Why? When we supposedly already did this with the moon, why would you still be concerned about that? Doesn't add up. According to NASA, we sent Apollo Astros outside of Earth's protective layer 27 times with no radiation exposure. Not even possible. Mary Bennett looked heavily at this. It's simply not reality. But we can't figure out Mars? Once again, a massive red flag. There's a Bill Casing tribute at the end of Weaver's book, which is important in his book in my opinion. James Van Allen claimed that NASA didn't have the technology to protect Astros from radiation at the time. Remember, according to Casing, and through the research I've done, there's no patents for any of this at that time. They simply didn't have the protection. The Soviet Union at that time was postponing missions with men to the moon due to the issues of radiation and solar flares. They were afraid of moon landings. In my view, NASA couldn't do it, so they faked it. Researcher Jara White still thinks the radiation issue is not solved. He's completely correct, otherwise they wouldn't be talking about it. According to Lagarde, she thinks it's possible that V.A.R.B made Apollo 11 impossible. And she is somebody that believes in the moon landings. That's on page 159 of her book. Remember, there's 2 to 3 rings, in my opinion, probably about 3 rings of radiation circling the Earth. A lot of it's light speed particles, particulate matter from the sun, and cosmic rays, UV rays, you name it. It's a lot of energy. In fact, I had teachers in junior high and high school that used to giggle about the radiation numbers. And many of these teachers were saying, as mathematicians or in other curricula, that the moon landings were all faked. They used to laugh at NASA, thinking it was a joke, and how dumb people were that actually believed this. They thought it was all faked. NASA claims passage 6 times through V.A.R.B. I claim passage 0 because it was all faked. The LM had the thickness of a pop can. Keep that in mind. James Van Allen said the belts could be fatal. There's no special shielding for them existing in '69. As I stated earlier, there were no patents for any of this to protect them. It's all a hoax. In '62, when JFK was president, NASA ran high-altitude tests with animals, and they were dead in minutes. That's also on page 160 of the Lagarde book. How can aluminum stop cosmic rays when they go through heavy, dense metal? Well, aluminum absorbs radiation. It is not a filter of radiation. Keep that in mind. The whole spaceship absorbed all of it. It simply doesn't add up. The quick pass theory, therefore, of V.A.R.B. is nuts, in my opinion. NASA claims the Astros were only in there for an hour. Unbelievable. I simply don't believe it. Brief exposure to cosmic rays can be fatal and usually are fatal. Scientists proved the levels would be a lot higher in V.A.R.B. and would equal death, meaning the spaceship would have probably blown up. NASA claims their exposure was less than an X-ray or somewhere around there through the entire Apollo project. This is really, really crazy. I don't believe this. These numbers are cooked and they're simply not reality. The whole NASA theory about V.A.R.B. is nuts. I simply don't believe this. These people would be dead, and that's part of the reason this was all faked. No human being ever went through V.A.R.B. I seriously doubt it, at least not during the Apollo program. Okay, on to other things. My videos next week are going to be on the last video of part 3 on V.A.R.B. I am going to do a video that has a demo in it, a demonstration in it, that shows how dumb NASA thinks we all are in believing their theory about Van Allen. I'm also going to start part 4, which is my cinema conspiracy section. I believe there was a plot within the elite of Hollywood to help fake the moon landings. In this video, I'm going to talk about the movie 2001 and the film Capricorn 1. If you're interested in movie history, you may want to watch that video. I'm also going to do a third video next week on non-moon hoax material. It will be uploaded on Thursday. It is going to be on the use of AI within corporations when it comes to customer service. If you don't like that, you may want to watch my video. It's a humorous video on this subject. So that's what the videos are going to be next week. Any non-moon hoax videos right now are going to be uploaded on Thursday. That's how I'm going to do the extra video. Okay, on to other things. I am David Bosek. I do not use AI in these videos. If you want more information about my political career, you can Google my name. Also make a note that I have run grassroots PACs in my life for candidates like Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump. In fact, I was the biggest Bernie group in the state of Michigan in 2016 that enabled him to win the Michigan primary that year. I later supported Trump after Bernie lost. Many of the populists like me went over to Trump as independents. You may want to make a note of that. That is about some of my political involvement in those kinds of things. More of it is on Google. My political blog about issues, movies, and books is on goodreads.com along with my bio. My best bio is on goodreads.com. So if you need it, if you need the information, it's on there. It's on goodreads.com. Okay, all the information about me is on the internet if you need it. Thanks again for your time. It's free to subscribe.